look forward to today and every opportunity to visit old friends and share my thoughts on the legislative issues that confront our state and our country. We've met in prosperous times, some more so than others. In recent years, Nevada's economic growth has been so dramatic that our state's future seemed to be rolling along on the wheels of destiny. Today, we're not so fortunate. A national economic collapse beyond our state's control has brought our progress to a dramatic halt. A triple punch of corporate greed, consumer debt, and lax government oversight has left Nevada and our country facing the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. I wish I could come to you in better times, with better news. I know you would prefer to be legislating for prosperity rather than recovery. But the people of Nevada deserve to know what's at stake. Every Nevadan should see the need for bold action and become engaged in the pursuit of near and long-term solutions. Last week, Congress completed action on the President's Recovery Plan. Despite our affection for President Obama and the strong Democratic majorities in Congress, we did not simply rubber stamp the President's plan. Democrats and Republicans engaged in a serious and vigorous debate, and ideas from both parties were adopted to improve this historic legislation. Since this bill passed on Friday, there have been numerous accounts of the positive impact on our country. I'm now going to spend a little bit of time talking about what it does for Nevada. For Nevada, the bill we passed has three main components. It'll protect and create 3.5 million jobs across our country, tens of thousands of jobs right here in Nevada, with 90% of the jobs created in the private sector. This legislation will provide tax relief for Nevada's struggling middle-class families, struggling to make one paycheck last until the next one arrives. And it makes critical investments in education, transportation, renewable energy, and workforce training to pave the road for long-term recovery. This important plan has one meaning for Nevada and our country: jobs, 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 and more jobs. We invest hundreds of millions of dollars for highways, roads, bridges, and another $50 million for mass transit here in Nevada. This will put people to work immediately. It'll cause money to flow into Nevada for water and sewer projects that could approach $100 million. We empower the private sector to put thousands of people to work, turning the sun, the wind, and geothermal energy into electricity that will help curb our use of fossil fuels and make us more energy independent. We help businesses grow and create jobs with new forms of tax relief, including a provision that allows half the cost of capital investments to be deducted and 100% deduction for small businesses. And we invest nearly $500 million in schools, technology in those schools, classrooms, labs, and other education programs to ensure that Nevada has a competitive workforce to attract new and innovative businesses. We address the housing crisis by providing an $8,000 tax credit for first-time homebuyers and a program to help state and local governments in partnership with community-based organizations to purchase, build, and rehabilitate affordable housing. And nearly all Nevadans will receive tax relief, with almost 1 million of our state's workers and their families receiving $400 tax cut for individuals, $800 for married couples, and a $2,500 tax credit to help 32,000 Nevada families afford the cost of a college education. In just the first few weeks of the 111th Congress, we've not only passed the Economic Recovery Plan, but also a lands bill that will protect Nevada's great outdoors, help Reno economy through ReTrack, enhance private development in Henderson. It even provides land for expansion of the Nevada Cancer Institute, one of the country's premier treatment facilities for cancer. I'm also happy to report the Carson City Lands Act that balanced development and preservation in Carson City is also part of this bill. In addition to what this legislation does for Nevada, it creates wilderness areas throughout the country, preserves our national parks, and as pundits and editorial writers all over this country have said, it's the most important environmental legislation to pass Congress in more than a quarter of a century. And we passed the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act to ensure pay equity in the workplace, legislation leading toward equal pay for men and women. And we also passed, on a bipartisan basis, a new children's health insurance program to provide quality coverage for kids who are sick, for millions of children, including tens of thousands here in Nevada. And this will include regular doctor's care and the medicine they need to stay healthy. One thing is also certain, that because of a provision I forced into a bill late last year, for the first time, Nevada counties will receive full funding for county payments and payments in lieu of taxes, which translates into millions of dollars for our state. So whatever problems we have today, they're greatly lessened as a result of this legislative victory. This is especially so in rural Nevada. The winds have definitely shifted in one area for Nevada with this new administration, and that's the fight on Yucca Mountain. Now, instead of fighting against the storm, Nevada has the wind at its back. In partnership with the other delegation members and state constitutional officers, we should finally see the Yucca project come to a close. I'm doing everything that I can to stop the dump, but I'm not the only one involved in this fight. This is not the time for the state to back off by cutting funding for the legal battles that are still being fought. We're in the last lap of the race, and Nevada needs every weapon to finally win this 20-year-plus battle. I know there's already debate on the best way to invest some portions of our state recovery funds. The top consideration must be how we put the most people back to work and rebuild Nevada's economy the most quickly. So the scope of this crisis may be unprecedented in our lifetimes, but we have faced our share of challenges before and risen to the occasion each time. We may not know exactly when this crisis will end, but I'm confident with the signing of the economic recovery package and today's announcement in Phoenix by President Obama that history will record yesterday and yesterday as a time when recovery began. Thank you all very much.